What's going on, Giants fans? Hard Knocks Episode 3 has aired. We have watched. Now let's review. Episode 3, this was by far, hands down, the best episode yet. They went right into free agency, and I'll remember this year's free agency like it was just not another day. I was on my way home from vacation, coming back from Great Wolf Lodge in Maryland. Pretty much as soon as I got unpacked, the news broke that Saquon was choosing to play elsewhere. So pretty much the episode started off, I made some notes because I want to remember everything that I just saw. Pretty much the episode starts off with Assistant General Manager Brandon Brown went into Schoen's office and discussed that he wanted to offer Saquon Barkley a deal. Schoen kind of agreed to it, and he said, you know what, let me work the phones, let me call his agent Ed, and let me get something going. So Schoen tried to make something work, but it kind of seemed in the end that it was against his will to do so, knowing that Saquon's going to be projected to earn a lot of money in this free agency period. He did get on the phone with Saquon Barkley's agent. He discussed a possible $12.5 million deal over 3 years with $25 million guaranteed. He asked the agent if that would guarantee him he would be a Giant by the end of the day. The agent said, I can't guarantee it won't, but I'm not going to say that because he's still mulling over other teams' offers. Later on in the same clip, Joe Schoen calls John Mara into his office to tell him what's up. The agent does not confirm that is what it would take to get done, and he tells John Mara that he's still mulling over offers. John Mara begins to, I guess, try to influence General Manager Joe Schoen into doing whatever it takes to re-sign Saquon Barkley. Explain to him like he will lose sleep over this if he bolts for Philadelphia. He is such a fan favorite player. It would be very hard on him to lose him. You could tell John Mara was very nauseous, very upset at just the thought and possibility, like we all were. Let's be honest. Even if, like myself, even if we didn't want Saquon back, we certainly did not want him to go to the fucking Eagles. But that's ultimately what he had to do. Once Joe Schoen got back on the phone with Saquon Barkley's agent, he realized that the price tag of his free agent wish just went up far north than what they were willing to pay him. And ultimately, Saquon Barkley went ahead and went on and signed a deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. Schoen said after the call, he's like, all right, let me go off this phone call. I know what's about to happen. Basically, just heard from his agent that he was going to go to Philadelphia. So he had to mentally prepare for what was about to happen. And when shit hit the fan, it hit the fan. We were all pissed of the outcome of where he went. Not because we didn't re-sign him, because of where he ultimately chose to go. And then John Mara comes back in Schoen's office. You could tell he was visibly upset, visibly frustrated. But in the end, I still believe the Giants made the right move, not offering a deal or matching Philly's offer. John Mara was still so fucking mad. And Schoen said, man, everything's going to be okay. It might be tough for you to sleep, but it's going to be okay. Then later on, the Giants found out that the Packers overpaid for Xavier McKinney, giving him $17 million a year and making him the second highest paid safety in the league. Then Schoen went right to work calling his good family friend Dan Morgan, navigated the trade very well with Panthers GM for Brian Burns. Joe Schoen said, you know what, he has to wait on Tepper, the Panthers owner, to give Dan a call back. If this deal falls through, he's explained to Brian Daboll and assistant GM Brandon Brown, if this deal falls through, it looks like we're going to have to take a pass rusher in the draft, as there are really no other good free agents out there that we will want to pay top dollar for. We got him. We got Brian Burns. Everyone seemed very happy about that. And then we went right after the offensive line. We got John Runyon. The Giants rated Illuminor, the Raiders offensive lineman, as one of their prized free agents. They got both. They outbidded the Jets for John Runyon Jr. Fuck you, Jets. Then they were expected to bring back Tyrod Taylor. Joe Schoen had listed Tyrod Taylor as a top 6 priority free agent. And Daboll said, that's going to be pretty much the same quarterback room. I'm all for it. And Joe Schoen said, for now, And I'm like thinking, what does that mean for now? And we brought in Drew Lock. But it was pretty cool how HBO pretty much gave us the rundown how free agency typically works. The Giants, the general manager meets with his scouts. Then he meets with his assistant GM, his head coach, and then once everything's said and done, he then gives the scoop to the owner. It seems like any move John Mara might have wanted happened that didn't happen. He bolted right into Schoen's door. I guess he's giving that stupid little smirk. I don't know. You know how I feel about him. I don't really like John Mara. But it seemed like John Mara was not going to be meddling too much. It seemed like he was letting Shane, I keep messing up his name. It's been a while, but I keep messing up. It seems like he was letting Shane take final action, which I'm happy about. But yeah, they wanted to sign Tyrod Taylor. He bolted for the Jets. Dable did want to bring back Motor Singletary over Swift, so the Giants ended up signing Devin Singletary. But in the long run, it was very cool how free agency left. They showed a little bit of clip of Joe Schoen at his family's house playing Uno with his 3 kids and his lovely wife. I thought the clip was cool when they interviewed Joe Schoen's son, saying like, "Oh yeah, everybody at school, all my friends were like, can you tell your dad to do this?" And I'm like, man, it'd be pretty cool if my dad was the GM for my favorite team, the New York Giants. But then it probably would suck going to school the next day after losing Saquon Barkley to an arch rival. So definitely has its pros and cons for sure. And then they showed a brief clip for the next episode. It seemed like the Giants were full intended on trading for a quarterback, whether that was Drake May or whether that was Jaden Daniels. In the clip, right before it cut out to black, Joe Schoen asked Brian Dable, would you trade for Jaden Daniels? And he said he would move up and trade for him. So we'll see how the next episode airs. I can't wait to see that next week. But this is pretty much how episode 3 went down. A lot of good information out there. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the episode and get back to me. Sorry this video took a little bit too long, but I just had a lot to go over. But that's basically it. I guess Saquon Barkley, I still fucking hate you as a football player. I still think you're a little bitch for going to Philly. But you're right. The Giants did not offer you a deal. It was way too overpriced for what they were willing to pay. In the long run, we made the right deal. Sucks you're in Philly. Hope you don't win anything. But I'd much rather have Brian Burns. Later, guys. Go Giants.